don't even know my own lore right now, apparently. Hi, I'm Dee. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've read the title of this video, you know I'm going to be explaining my projects today, my writing projects. I have 3, and then I have a 4th that's not really, like, I haven't really even wrote anything for it. Honestly, I haven't wrote anything for the 3rd one either. They're just ideas, really. I can't really even call them projects. But we're going to talk about them. I will give a little detail into what they're about, so when I mention them in future videos, you have some clue as to what I'm talking about, and I'm not just rambling about random shit that you have no context for. So the first one we're going to talk about, I don't have a title for. I don't even have like a project name for it. I've thought about calling it like Project Pirate, but that doesn't really sound good. So I'm going to explain it to you, and if you have a project name idea, let me know in the comments. If not, that's totally okay. I'm probably just gonna end up calling it Project Pirate or Project Pirate or Project Princess Pirate or Pirate Princess. I forgot which way I wanted to call it, and you'll understand why I'm adding in princess in a second. So this project, it initially started with a short story that I wrote for a writing class, like my 2nd year of college. I was in a 2-year community college at first, and we had to write a short story, and I found this writing prompt on Pinterest that I used to help me, and it's a short story that I call Princesses Don't Rule Over Corpses. And this short story takes place with a princess who has been brought onto a pirate ship against her will, and her kingdom has been destroyed, and as far as she knows, everyone that she has ever known and loved has died. And that is the origin of this story. What it has come to now, it doesn't really look anything like its predecessor. These 2 ideas they're very different now. I think the only similarity is the fact that it has pirates and that it has a princess in it. I think those are like the only 2 similarities now. So that's Princesses Don't Rule Over Corpses. That's the short story. Now let's get into what this actual project is. If you see me looking down, I'm looking in the notes for it. As you can see, I have a lot of different notes and just ramblings about just different ideas of where I could take this. But essentially, it is about a princess who is the heir to the throne of her kingdom. She is an adult, so this would be an adult fantasy. And she has multiple problems. So this is partially where I don't know where I want this to go. She's going to have a male figure who's going to be the king. I don't know if it's going to be her father or if it's going to be her uncle. It's probably going to lean more towards her father. I thought about going the uncle aspect, almost like Hamlet, where her uncle marries her mom, and it's just kind of that dynamic. But I don't think I'm going to go that route. The route that I'm going to go is her father. Her father, she has a very toxic relationship with her father. Before her father came to power, her kingdom had a matriarchal succession where the women took the throne. But her father married into the line. He married her mother, and that is how he became king. And when he became king, he kind of took over. He didn't really have anyone checking his power. I'm not really sure where the mother is going to stand in this, whether, I know she's alive, I just don't know if I think she was manipulated by him. I think he gave her a lot of promises because she was never really, I guess, into politics. She wasn't a very strong heir. Like, she definitely didn't have what it took to be queen, but she was the only heir, so she kind of had to step up to the plate. And when the two of them got married, he gave her a lot of promises. Ooh, my cat has noticed the camera and what I'm doing. You're in the way. This is Ellie. I have two cats, and you will probably see them in videos. This is the one that likes to get up on my table. Please? Please? No? You're just gonna see her in the video because she's so far up my butt, it's not even funny. Anyway, I think he made a lot of promises to her mother that, you know, he was really going to help her kingdom blossom and flourish, and that he would deal with the politics of the kingdom, and he would help continue her line and continue her legacy. And she believed him. But as their marriage went on, and the longer he sat in the throne, the more evident it became that he did not want to help her. He wanted power. But the thing is that the way that this system is set up is that the oldest daughter is supposed to take the throne. And they have one daughter, and I'm thinking of calling her Odessa. I found that name on Pinterest not too long ago, and I really like it. So for right now, I'm going to refer to her as Odessa. Odessa is the oldest. I think she's going to have a younger sibling. I think it's going to be a brother. And her father kind of despises her. He despises her because I think in some ways she's going to be a lot like him, and she's not going to be this quiet little mouse that he wants her to be. She's going to be very loud and very outspoken from a very young age. She's kind of going to be like, I haven't watched the show, but I've seen enough clips of her. She's definitely going to be a Rhaenyra Targaryen type, where she's like, yeah, I'm the heir, I'm going to be queen, and you're not going to stop me. But he is definitely going to try to stop her. So the story starts with, I'm giving a lot of detail. I don't know if I'm giving too much detail or not, but we're just going to go with it. So the story really kicks off with her father deciding that she's going to get married. He's been kind of trying to delay her taking the throne because she is of age to take the throne, and he's kind of been delaying that. So one of the ways he wants to delay it further is to have her get married and basically send her off. So her betrothed comes to their kingdom, and they are set to get married, and the night before, her betrothed, her prince, dies. And she was the last one seen alive with him, and they had an argument, and she is pinned for his murder. She is framed for his murder, and she is forced to flee, and she becomes a stowaway on a pirate ship. And in another video, I'm actually going to make a video about naming this crew and like making the crew in general and like giving them all names and like a little bit of backstory for each of them, because I only have one of them like named. So that's going to be probably the next video. I still have to film it. So she becomes a stowaway on this pirate ship, and when she is found, she makes a deal with them because while she's a stowaway, she finds out what these pirates are looking for, and she realizes that what they're looking for could also help her and help her clear her name in the murder of this prince from another kingdom who is now hunting her and wants her dead. And in exchange, she promises that when her name is cleared and she is able to take the throne, because that's another thing that she plans to do when she goes back, is to overthrow her father and take her rightful place as queen, she plans on paying them very handsomely for their help. And so that's kind of where the story starts. I don't really want to give too much detail yet. I'm so scared of giving away too much detail because of plagiarism. I guess I can give a little more detail. They're looking for the fountain of truth. And I know that's a very cliche type of thing to have in like a pirate, in pirate media. Like I'm pretty sure that was like, no, in Pirates of the Caribbean it was like the fountain of truth, I think. But I wanted to go with the fountain of truth, and there is a whole origin story to how the fountain of truth came to be. And I think it's unique the way that I came up with it. So they're looking for the fountain of truth, and the pirates are looking for the fountain of truth because the goddess of the sea has gone missing. Is it the goddess of the sea? Hold on, I might be wrong. I could be wrong. No, it's not the sea goddess. So there's going to be 3 main goddesses that are sky, sea, and land, essentially. I kind of took inspiration from how Hecate is called the triple goddess. These are the triple goddesses in my fantasy world. So one of the other goddesses has gone missing, and the sea goddess, who the pirates worship in this case, she's angry. The sea is very angry. She has been destroying pirate fleets. She has just been really causing a mess. And this pirate crew, who is very dedicated to her, has been tasked by her to find out the truth of what happened to the other goddess that is missing. I think there's going to be 3 goddesses. That could change, but I definitely know there's going to be a sea goddess, and I definitely know that there's going to be another goddess that is missing. And they have been tasked with finding out what happened to her. And the goddess tells them that probably one of the only ways they're going to find out what happened is to find the fountain of truth. And she can't tell them how to find it. They have to find it themselves. And my main character, Odessa, knows that this can help her clear her name. And so that's how she makes this deal with the pirates and becomes part of the crew. And this is where we're going to see her arc as she transitions from pirate to as she transitions from princess to pirate. And that is where I'm at so far. I haven't even really started writing it. There's going to be other elements that I just haven't mentioned yet that I'm like kind of excited for. But that's where that one's at. The next one that I'm going to talk about is another fantasy story. A lot of these are mostly going to be fantasy. One is called To Save a Dragon. I referenced it in my other video where I talked about my goals for 2025. To Save a Dragon is a fantasy book where my main character, Ray Barlow, is living in the slums of her home country, her home country. Every day, her and her people are terrorized by wyvern. I kind of threw you into that, and I didn't even give the backstory. In this fantasy world, about 100 to 200 years ago, there was a war over dragons. There were dragons in this fantasy world, and there was a group of people that protected the dragons and their eggs. There was an island specifically for the dragons, and where they lived and where they kept their eggs. And there was a group of people called the Sargons who really had a bond with the dragons. A lot of them were dragon riders. They were the dragons trusted them a lot, and the magic users of Sargon, or at least some of them, lived on the island with the dragons in order to protect them. And not just anyone could become a dragon rider. You had to go through a very intensive trial in order to show your worthiness. It could all mean nothing when you got to the island because the dragon could just kill you anyway if they deemed that you were rude or ungrateful for being in the dragon's presence. And it wasn't just people from Sargon who could become dragon riders. Everyone in this world had a chance to do it. They just had to do it through Sargon, through the people of Sargon, because you couldn't get onto the island any other way because of the magic from the Sargons. Their magic protected the island, so you couldn't get on the island without their approval. And there was another kingdom that really wanted their own set of dragons. They felt like that there was this power imbalance with the Sargons who had these dragons and this other country who didn't. So I believe I put it that the prince of this country, the country is called Ariun. The prince of Ariun went through the trials from the Sargons, and he passed the trials and he went onto the island. I think that's how that goes. My own lore. I don't even know my own lore right now, apparently. Either way, he was denied. He did not get a dragon. He did not become a dragon rider. I believe he either failed the trials or he actually got to the island and the dragons denied him. Because even though, like I said, the people of Sargon could let you in, it doesn't mean the dragons are going to accept you. Because the dragons are sentient beings. They have their own minds and their own opinions, and they can decide who they want there and who they don't. So the king and queen of Ariun were quite angry that their son was denied a dragon, and there was increasing tension growing between Sargon and Ariun. I forget how this goes. I have to look in my notes, in complete honesty, because apparently I don't know my own lore when it comes to my own freaking story. Because I'm kind of pulling things from my ass at the moment because I don't remember exactly what I put. Dragon Ridge is the island where the dragons are born and where a majority of them live. There's another thing, because I'm now looking at my notes. The magic users that protect Dragon Ridge cannot bond with the dragons because the dragons have their own magic. And the magic of the people and the magic of the dragons don't mix. Like, they cannot mix. It just interferes with each other's magic, and it's just not a good mix. It could kill the person and it could kill the dragon. So many royal family members, including the kings and queens, have been going to Dragon Ridge to try to bond with the dragons. Several were even killed in their attempts. The last time in Ariun, a person of Ariun had stepped foot. I think I'm going to change the name Ariun. I don't really like it anymore. I haven't liked it in a while, but I also haven't come up with another name for this country. Last time someone from Ariun stepped foot on Dragon Ridge, he stole 2 dragon eggs, taking them back to Ariun, where those eggs hatched and died. It's seen as disrespectful for them to keep coming again and again and again. And then the loss of the eggs were seen as murder. The dragons in Sargon would often cause havoc. Since Ariun and Sargon share a continent, they would steal livestock, they would burn buildings, they would just cause mayhem because they were so angry at the loss of these eggs. Ariun demanded Sargon dragons, but the dragons are not to be controlled. The bonded rider can't force the dragons to do anything. They have minds of their own and they're very angry. So, as the tensions rose between these two countries, Ariun domesticated wyverns. These animalistic creatures with wings, that is the real difference between the dragons and the wyverns. Wyverns are purely animals, where the dragons, if you're bonded with a dragon, you can speak to dragons. And I don't even think it's that you have to be bonded to the dragons. I think as long as the dragons trust you, you can speak to the dragons. So they are able to talk and, like I said, form their own opinions. And that leads to the war between Ariun and Sargon. And in the end, the dragons were wiped from existence. They were all killed in this war. Land of Sargon was completely destroyed. The continent, half of it was Ariun, the other half was Sargon. Sargon just gets completely destroyed. Like, broken into pieces. It's just tiny little pieces of isles now. And the people of Sargon are gone. And the now ruins... Girl. You're being so very bad. Anyway, there was a war. Dragon Ridge was destroyed. All the dragons are gone. Sargon is completely wiped off the map. The land doesn't even exist anymore. It's just little isles. And so now we have present day with my main character, Ray, who is living in the slums of Ariun, where every day the village is terrorized by wyvern. Many of them end up getting killed because the guards essentially use the wyvern as sport to kill. Do you see what she's doing? I don't know if you can see what she's doing, but she's being a little menace behind me. Sit there like she's all innocent. Ray Barlow is desperate to get her family out of there and to somewhere else where they can get away from these wyvern and this essentially tyrannical country that they live in. So she takes a job where she and a group of other people go to mine on in the ruins of Dragon Ridge, because that island was not destroyed. It's still standing. There's just, like I said in the name, ruins. She goes there for this job to mine, as she was told, but she actually discovers what they were originally looking for, and that is a dragon. And she finds this dragon secretly, and that leads to a lot of problems that I have not completely figured out yet. So that is Project 2 to Save a Dragon. Okay, we're back. I had to adjust because I have a headache and I have a ring light behind so you guys can see me. And it's not helping my headache at all. So now we're going to go on to 3 and 4. Though 3 and 4 are more concepts than they are projects because I really haven't started writing them. So we're going to start with 3. So this is another one that came from a short story where I'm actually going to build the short story into more of a novel, hopefully. And the title that was the short story and that I think is going to be this one is On the Radio and in the Grave. It is a post-apocalyptic story because I love post-apocalyptic stories. That's one of it. I love it. I love it so much. So this follows another young woman because most of my main characters are women. So this follows a young woman who has just witnessed a devastating environmental event that kickstarted the apocalypse. The town and place that she once knew is no longer, and she is alone in her house and haunted by ghosts. Not actual ghosts, like metaphorical ghosts, but I think you understand what I mean. And she knows her time there is running out. She can't stay there for much longer, or she will be another body to add to a grave. So she finds her father's old radio, hooks it up, gets it working, and after playing with it for about a week or two on end, she hears a voice on the radio, another young woman. And she decides that she is going to try to find this person so she's not alone anymore. That's the working idea. Again, just because it's an idea and I talk about it doesn't mean I'm going to continue to follow through with it. That's just how it is. It might not work out to be a full book, but I just wanted to share it. And then another idea that I have that, again, it's just an idea. I have some notes down for it, but there's nothing concrete. And this is just going to be like on the radio in the grave just because I talk about it. Doesn't mean it's going to come to fruition. I came up with an idea of, again, it's another girl. I don't know what to tell you. I like having FMCs. Where my FMC gets hit by a star and she develops powers out of that. And it would be a fantasy world that is divided by 3 different realms, and the realms are based on how much daytime and nighttime you get. So one realm is always daytime. The second realm is like our world where there's day and night. And then there is one that is just always nighttime. And I just thought it was a cool idea. I haven't really gone anywhere with it yet, but it has been just circling in my head. So I have some notes down for it. I don't know if I'm going to work on it right away. I do want to work on my pirate princess story and to save a dragon first before I go anywhere with these two. But I just wanted to talk about them. I love talking about my projects. I love getting to ramble, as you can see. So that is it. Those are my 2 projects and my 2 concepts. I can't really call it 4 projects, can I? Because the last 2 aren't really anything but concepts. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Let me know what your projects are if you're comfortable with sharing. This definitely is a little outside my comfort zone because I usually only share my projects with friends. I definitely don't go sharing it on the internet. So I'm a little scared, but hopefully it'll be okay. So again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world, and we will talk again soon.